David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another fountain pen review. 3D printing has come a long way in the last decade or so. There are several different kinds of printing processes, and some of those have made their way into being used in the pen world. I reviewed a Kickstarter pen from ArcLayer a few weeks back that utilized some high-quality printing techniques. Well, this week I have another 3D printed pen for you, which is along the same lines as that ArcLayer model. It's made by a company by the name of Hex Pens, and the pen is called the Lucent. It is something I learned about a while back, and I purchased this pen for myself. Hex Pens has two different variations of the Lucent, which have a different twisting ink chamber design. There is the DNA, which has a chamber which, appropriately enough, resembles a strand of DNA, and then there is the triple twist model, which has a more straightforward twisting design. I was attracted to the unique looks of this pen, which is why I purchased it, but I was curious if the performance would equal those distinctive looks. What I'm going to do today is go over the parts and features of this pen, talk about what I care for and what I don't care for about it. I'll show some measurements, size comparisons, and provide a writing sample with a Hex Pens ink, which the Toronto-based company was kind enough to send my way to test out. So, in order to get a closer look at this pen and see how I feel it compares to some other 3D printed offerings, please join me over here at camera 2. The pen arrives in this rather unique box. It has the Hex Pens logo as the name of the company, and then what happens, it has a magnetic closure, and when you open it up, the pen rises. Now let me go ahead and show that from the side just so you have an appreciation. Let me see, I don't want to dump out the pen. But you can see here that when you lift the box, the tray is risen out of here as well. And then the magnet closes the pen, or closes the box on the side. So this actually kind of turns into an interesting display case. So you can see that it's an interesting display case if you wanted to use that for your pen. And it has Hex Pens in here. And this is 3D printed as well as regard to this white plastic piece. So I thought that this was a very interesting presentation of this pen. And as you can see here, we have the Hex Pens Lucent, and then it came with an eyedropper, which will come in handy in just a bit. The pen also came with a nice branded polishing cloth. And then inside this envelope, there was some use and care instructions and a nice note. We won't go into all of it. But on the pen, there was also this tag that says, please only ink from this side. And I proceeded to remove it and then forget which side it was actually on. But then inside the instructions here, there was a diagram that showed. So I was glad that they had that diagram in there. And here we have the Hex Pens Lucent. As you can see, it has a transparent resin, which is 3D printed, and it's a high quality 3D printing. So you really don't see any lines here on the outside just because the manner in which this is printed. In regard to the parts and features of this pen, you can see it has a rounded tip, and then the clip is a little bit on the stiff side. It works better in thinner materials than thicker materials. The cap angles up and then straightens out for the last inch or so. Something I really appreciate, especially on a pen with a see-through cap like this, is the fact that the threads have two different entry points in them, and one will point the nib straight up, and then the other one will point it straight down. So that's basically, in my personal opinion, how it should be done. It always annoys me if I see a nib through a cap and it's a little bit askew like that. So the fact that it's oriented up and down makes me, it's kind of a leading indicator that the company is paying attention to the little things that are going to make their pen that much better. Here at the end, we do have a nice stamped band. And on the back, it says Lucent, and on the front, it has Hex Pens. Then there's a minimal step down to the barrel, which angles down at a fairly even rate of decline. And then in the very end here, we have another piece, another pointed piece. Now, this one does actually come off back here. And this is not the way that they say that you should fill it up. But I do find that when it comes to cleaning this pen, then it's very convenient to remove this in order to clean the pen. And I have inked this pen up and used it for a while and then cleaned it out. And as you can see, it cleaned out very nicely, because that's one of the first things I think about when a pen with a translucent pen like this is will it stain? Because I have had some pens over time that have stained a little bit. Like, you know what? There is a couple here. This one here was a 3D printed pen from Additive Pens. I'm not sure if they're making pens anymore, but as you can see, that material did stain over time. And so, you know, the pen is decent, but if I want to use this pen, I really pretty much have to use a purple ink in it because it has stained. I do have another pen. This one was from Franklin Christoph. Let's get that in focus. This is one of their Model 66s. And, you know, I'll say that the staining on this one was probably on me, because I left the ink in this pen. This is one of those pens that I would just leave the ink in forever. And I left ink in here for years, as opposed to using it and cleaning it out and using it and cleaning it out. And so ink was in here for several years, a kind of a brown ink. They're terracotta ink. And over the years, that ended up staining the pen. Now, this is still a very nice pen. And if I ink it up, I'll use that brown ink, but as you can see that it kind of stained over time. You know, I'm showing the size comparisons now. I might as well actually do that. And then this one here, this was actually the Arc Layer Maze that I reviewed recently. And this one did a very good job as well of not staining, because this one has been inked and cleaned on a few different occasions. Now, on both of these, on the Hex Pen and the Arc Layer, now I don't know if you just leave ink in there for years if it will turn. I didn't have time to do that type of experiment, but from what I can see so far, the pen cleans out very nicely, in that I would think that the risk of staining is low. You know, I might as well show the other size comparisons. This one here is a Pilot Custom 92. I just thought I'd show some other transparent pens. And then this one here is from Peniter. And then here we have the Visconti Opera Crystal. So all three of those, or actually all four of those, look nice together. In regard to uncapped comparisons, this is what it looks like with the Arc Layer and the Pilot Custom 92. And then here it is with the Visconti Opera Crystal. Okay, we did things a little bit out of order there, but the cap twists off with 2 full rotations, and underneath we have a number 6 stainless steel nib. And I do like the design, the engraving that's on that nib. I think that that looks sharp and unique. It kind of reminds me of Montegrappa's a little bit with those hexagons. And then there's a look at the plastic feed. The section begins with a fairly decent flare, and then angles up until we have the cap bands, which are the cap threads, which I don't find to be sharp at all, and a medium to large step up to the remainder of the barrel. Now, in regard to the length of this pen, I do find that it's plenty long enough to use unposted, which is a good thing because this cap really doesn't post. It doesn't even fit on the back at all, which is fine. Because actually, I think that's a good thing, because once we ink this up, you're going to see this is the highlight. The barrel is the highlight with what you want to see. You really don't want to cover that up. And I do find that this pen is comfortable in the hand and fairly well balanced. In regard to inking this pen up, what you do is the front comes off there, and as you can see, we do have 2 O-rings here. I do like the fact that these are, we'll say, clear O-rings as opposed to black ones, which I think would have just taken away a little bit from there, but create a decent seal. So you can see it creates a decent seal in there. And then what happens is we are going to go ahead and ink this pen up in this chamber, and we'll use their eyedropper. Whoops, there, we got out of focus. There, we'll use their eyedropper and see how the chambers fill up here. The ink that we're going to use is their Hex Pens ink that they were kind enough to send along. And as you can see, I think that this cap is 3D printed, and it just has a little bit of unique shape to it. And it actually makes it very convenient and easy, and you get a good grip when you want to take off this lid. So let's go ahead and take this off. And then we're going to get the eyedropper that they provided. And we'll see if I can kind of do this at a side angle. We'll only get a little bit in here. Now, I'm always careful because I don't want to get it in the threads here. So you kind of have to go beyond the threads and then go ahead and press it. And you can see the ink starting to fill up there. We'll go ahead and give that one more go. There, and that's a pretty good, I'd say 3/4 of the way full. I'm trying to just take it easy. But there, I think we got a decent fill there. So let's go ahead. You know what? I didn't do a good job of not getting on the threads. So I'll have to clean this up here in a little bit. But we go ahead and seal that up, and you can see that's me with the ink on the threads. And that would bother me, and so I would probably maybe start all over again and clean that right away. So I'm going to clean that right away. But you can see how the ink fills up that chamber. And it actually, the chambers are wide enough to the ink, if I can get it in the frame, the ink moves freely within here. So that's one of the key elements of having a design like this, is making sure that the ink actually moves throughout the chambers and that the surface tension doesn't prevent that from happening. As you can see here, this is the DNA. As you can see here, it has the I just think that looks really cool when you twist it. But you can see here it has the cross sections, and it just has that DNA look to it, like a DNA strand, and like there's movement going on when I am twisting it like that. Okay, let's go ahead and show some measurements, and then let's come back with a writing sample. Here we go with the writing sample for the Hex Pens. And this is the Lucent. We'll say it's the DNA, since that is the model that I have. And I believe this is a broad nib. This nib is available in extra fine, fine, medium, and broad. And if I didn't mention, it is a stainless steel nib. And the ink I'm using, as I showed you previously, is Hex Pens Blue. Actually, they call it electric blue. So this is electric blue. I showed you what the bottle looked like, but this is what the ink looks like. It's an ink that is kind of more on the purplish side of blue. This is what it looks like with Wall Eversharp's Wallberry, and this is what it looks like with Mont Blanc's Royal Blue. This is what happens when you leave ink samples out and a dog can drool over them. But it does kind of look like the electric blue is kind of more on that royal blue side of the blue scale. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. There was a hard start, but I think that's just because I had it out here in my kind of hot lights and was exposed for a little bit. But the flow was fine once we got going there. You're not going to get a lot of line variation. You get a little bit out of this particular nib if you press really hard. In regard to ink flow, I think that on this broad nib, it's fairly generous. And in regard to reverse writing, it is a little scratchy, but lays down an extra fine line. And then in regard to some fast writing, the feed keeps up very well. I didn't mention it before, but the price for this pen is $168. I'll put a link to the Hex Pens website in the notes below this video. And then it was like $15 for shipping. So I think between that's a reasonable cost for shipping, and $168 for a high quality 3D printed pen like this is, I didn't feel that was outrageous. So it's certainly something worth checking out, and it's interesting to see how this 3D technology has advanced over the last 10 years. I'd say it was significant, and so it just only makes me wonder what it's going to look like 10 years from now, and the innovations that we'll be able to see in the pen world using this technology. But so far, I think I was very pleased with this pen, and I think it looks really sharp. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.